What up, guys? I'm back with another pumpkin beer review. I know, you love it, you hate it, I don't know. It's interesting either way. But this week, the pumpkin beer is from New Holland Brewing Company. It is Ichabod Pumpkin Ale. Again, you never know what you're gonna get with these pumpkin beers. They could be like phenomenally amazing, or they could be so much fake pumpkin taste in it, like your teeth are falling out and you just question the very existence of some of these people that make these beers. But yes, it is brewed and canned in Holland, Michigan. And New Holland, I feel like in terms of Michigan craft beer, you know, you always hear of Founders, which I don't even think is technically craft anymore. You hear of Bell's and Two Heart and stuff like that. And then there's a handful of like Michigan beers that you generally hear of. New Holland is kind of under the radar. It's just not as mass produced, but generally speaking, if you were to ask a in-the-know Michigan beer drinker, that they have to tell you which breweries that they thought was underrated, New Holland would probably be up there, because you can get it anywhere in the state, and I think the distribution is kind of in the general of the surrounding states, but it's not like super all over the place, I don't believe. I'll have to double check on that. If it is, this whole thing is moot, and forget I said anything. But anyways, let's see how this Ichabod Pumpkin Ale is working. It is 4.5% ABV, so it is not burly at all. So I'm assuming they're gonna rest their laurels on taste and not the high alcohol content. So let's crack this open. Let's see. That is a nice fall color beer, don't you think? That looks like fall. That is fall in a glass right there. And I'm a fan of the can. It's not a freaking sticker. So yeah, New Holland in Holland, Michigan has a nice windmill. If you've never been in that area of the state, it's you got a lot of kind of Holland things. You know, they have, if you want some wooden shoes and you don't want to go to Holland, you can go to Holland, Michigan. But you got a lot of kind of little small towns like that in Michigan. You got Frankenmuth, Little Bavaria. It's like probably outside of like Germany Oktoberfest. Probably one of the best Oktoberfests in the United States you're gonna find there, because the whole town, like, it looks like you walk into a small German town. That's like just what it is. And anyways, just killing time till the head dies down. But it looks like that head's gonna stay for a little bit. I already like that. I should create a category for, you know, like good head, but I feel like that would. Anyways, let's get into the review, get into the smell. You get that pumpkin spice. It's not as like up the nose as the last pumpkin beer I had. It has kind of a mulled wine pumpkin spice aroma to it. It's kind of like if you've ever mulled wine at home, where you put it, you're boiling it, and you add like the spices, you know, the clove and the cinnamon, and maybe pour in the extra brandy to really kick it up a notch. Mulled wine, that is underrated for the holidays. But it has that kind of spiced pumpkin mulled aroma to it going on. There is a hint of, I can't tell if it's going to be a little artificially pumpkin flavored. I really hope not, because nothing turns the pumpkin beer off for me like that artificial thing. But I am picking up a lot of clove. There's definitely that clove aroma to it. The more I'm smelling it, I'm almost getting more clove than pumpkin. Maybe that's the artificially kind of thing that I'm picking up. But yeah, I'm definitely clove prominent. Maybe a dash of cinnamon, but not much. So yeah, clove heavy, a little bit of pumpkin, dash of cinnamon, pumpkin mulled wine. Although it's 4.5%. Mulled wine, much higher. But I'm enjoying the aroma. It very well could get too sweet for me tasting it. But the aroma is fine. I'm going to recommend it on Aroma. Now let's get into taste. That was odd. The reason I said that was odd, do you ever smell something and you can almost like taste what you're smelling, even though you don't actually eat it? As in like a cleaning, you know, like pine sol or something like that. There is almost a lemon pine sol. Like when I smell that cleaning thing, this is what, like, part of that, that's what it's reminding me of. And that's probably just me. That might not, I don't think that's necessarily everybody kind of situation, but that's the first thing that popped into my mind. And that is not the first thing that you want to pop in your mind when you're drinking a beer. You're like, cleaning solution. That's not good. But that's what popped into my mind. I think it's just a super combination of stuff. It's me personally. Like, I remember I made this particular mac and cheese. And one, you need to be making mac and cheese with the shell noodles, not the elbow noodles. Elbow noodles are stupid. Shell noodles collect the cheese in the shell, so you got the extra cheese in the shell. Elbow noodles don't do that. I don't know why everybody makes mac and cheese with the elbow noodles. Switch to shell, people. And the one I was making, there's multiple different kinds of cheese. And one of the cheese, there's like this aged cheddar thing in it. And the person that was eating it, they stopped after a couple bites, and they're kind of like, And whenever you make something and someone stops and goes, you're like, oh, you always, what's going on? Like, okay, what's wrong? And you're like, you know what? This kind of tastes like meth. It's like, great. I'm so glad that my mac and cheese tastes like the meth you experimented with. That's phenomenal. I think it was it was the smokiness, because it was like a smoked aged cheddar that I was like tweaking with. Nobody else picked that up, except for the person that tasted meth before. I haven't tasted, lemon pine sol cleaner, but that's the taste that's bringing it to me. So the mac and cheese for that person was ruined because of that. I'm not saying this beer is ruined, but that's the first thing that I'm picking up with this. Pine sol, not meth. It's still a dash of clove. It's not as much with it. There's kind of a bitterness to it. There is a there's a kind of a maltiness to it. It's almost like someone gave you a really burnt piece of toast and then slapped some like marmalade on it, or like an orange grape jelly on it, and it's like, here you go, it's fixed. That's kind of the maltiness I'm picking up. There's kind of like charredness to it, but there's almost like I think more of like the orange marmalade kind of thing that, with it. It's not super fake in the pumpkin. There's just not much in it. Like the pumpkin becomes, there's some pumpkin to it, but it's very minute, and I'm kind of bummed about it. Like, if I'm getting something where it is a pumpkin ale, I want the pumpkin to be a little more pronounced. Maybe they're making it because they know there's a decent amount of people that are like, I don't really like pumpkin, man. Maybe they're doing that. They're almost like hiding the pumpkin. Like, if you look for it, you can kind of find it. But it's like, you have that burnty marmalade thing going on, which covers up the clove, which covers up the pumpkin, which covers up the lemon pine sol. It's not like a terribly terrible beer. I wouldn't even call it terrible. It's just, I think for me, because of the connection, the mental connection I'm making with it, it's just not working. It's just not working for me, so yeah, I'm not gonna recommend it on taste. I was debating on giving it a half, but it's just not working for me. And after I just hyped up New Holland so much, so I'm sorry, but yeah, I'm not gonna recommend it on taste. Next category is value for price, and yeah, it's fine. It's your standard craft micro beer. There was nothing like out of the ordinary for it. It was what it was. You're gonna pay like $2 or $2.50 for it. It's what a craft beer it runs. It wasn't super high or super low, so it's fine. I'll recommend it for value for price. Next category is distinction. How distinct is it? And it's a pumpkin beer. I wish there was a more prominent pumpkin thing going on with it. I'm glad that I actually picked it up. But there is some pumpkin elements to it, so it's not just you have to really search for it. But like, it's a pumpkin ale, so I don't know. Does that mean it's just a regular brown ale with pumpkin added to it? God, I hate when they use font that you can't even read. Okay, let's see. It's brewed. I'm guessing it's an ale brewed with a real pumpkin, cinnamon, and nutmeg. Is it nutmeg? Oh. I always get nutmeg and clove confused, so maybe it was nutmeg that I was picking up. I still feel like it was clove. For some reason, I always get the two. I don't know. I don't know. I'm saying there's still clove in that thing, but I don't know. I was hoping they'd give more information on what the specific kind of ale it is, but I totally lost my track. Value price, I don't remember where I'm at. Value price, yeah, okay, I recommend. I think I already did that. And then distinction, I was on distinction, wasn't I? This whole thing's taking me off. Distinction, there's some pumpkin in it, but it's not really like doing anything for me. There's nothing like that's separating it from the other mass-produced pumpkin ales. This really feels like, dude, fall's coming. We gotta make a pumpkin beer. But we hate pumpkin beers. I know, but we still gotta put it. Well, shit. And that's what came out of it. So it's not really doing anything for me. So distinction, I'm not gonna recommend distinction. There's nothing that's like, woo, that sets it apart from anything. They use the same, cinnamon and nutmeg / clove or whatever. So like I think a lot of places just try to pick up that pumpkin pie taste and then jam it into a beer. I'm already gonna say that if you want that, there's probably a Southern Tier pumpkin beer out there that you should go for. Haven't even had it yet, but Southern Tier always does the flavored beers better than everybody else that I've ever had. So I'm already recommending Southern Tier pumpkin beers, and I haven't had one yet. I have to try one out now and see if I have to revoke that. But yeah, distinction, I'm not gonna recommend distinction. drinkability, and it's I mean, it's fine. It's fine. It's a fall beer. Definitely picking up more of the cinnamon, more of that cinnamon taste as it warms up. It's definitely a prominence of cinnamon. Again, the pumpkin is like second nature to these other spices. But drinkability is fine. I guess I would have expected more for a 4.5% ABV. But yeah, distinctions. I mean, drinkability is fine. I recommend drinkability. Last category is would I buy it again? And no. I will not be buying this again. It's just, it feels more like they're just kind of going through the motions. They're making a pumpkin beer because they're supposed to make a pumpkin beer. It's that seasonal beer that you gotta do, especially since you're in Michigan and pumpkins are everywhere. It felt more forced than actual labor of love. And I'd rather don't even make that kind of beer if you don't want to. That's what kills me with some of these places. You obviously didn't really want to make this beer. You didn't want to, so don't make it. So many places are so concerned about, we gotta have this kind of seasonal, like every 2 months, otherwise, we're gonna blow. Stop. Like, nothing drives me crazier than that. It's like the classic craft beers, the ones that have been around since the mid to late 80s or even the early 90s. All of those beers that came out at that point, they came out because the brewmasters had been working on them for like a decade. They were fine-tuned. You taste some of those Sierra Nevadas, the Two-Hearted IPA, some of the Dogfish Head stuff. They work so long on those beers, and there's a reason why those particular beers are still around 30 years later. How many modern, seasonals or IPAs are around a year or two later? So many places now they put an IPA out every 6 months, but 2 years down the road, that IPA doesn't exist anymore. It doesn't exist anymore because it was never very good. They're doing it because they feel like they have to do it to stay relevant, but the beer is not good. It's like, if you're making a beer that's not going to be around 5 years down the road, don't make it. If you don't want to make it, if you have no passion for it, stop. Just don't make it. That's what I feel like with this. You didn't want to make a pumpkin beer, but you made it because you felt like you had to. Well, then just don't make it. There's plenty of other pumpkin beers, and plenty of people just don't even like pumpkin beers. So just ugh. Some of these places, just make a beer because you want to and because it's good. Don't make it because you feel like you're obligated to. So that is my review. Oh, did I say what about again? Oh, I did say that. No, I'm not going to. I totally lost my train of thought. So that is my review of New Holland Brewing Company's Ichabod Pumpkin Ale. What do you think? Have you had this before? Maybe you're a fan of it. It's not like the worst beer in the world. I feel like I kind of went on a rant for this. Just on beers in general, but not necessarily completely directed towards this beer. But there's just beers breweries make because they feel obligated to do it. And I don't want that. There's so many gazillions of micro beers out there nowadays. It's hard to know what's going to be good or not. And there's so many bullshit, terrible beers. And you're spending good money on this stuff. It's a craft beer. You're going to pay more for this stuff. So whatever. And then you drink it. You're like, they obviously didn't give a rat's ass when they made this. They just needed to stay on the shelf. I wish they're just did you really have a passion for making this beer, or did you make it because you felt like you had to? Anyways, I better stop before I just keep going for another 20 minutes. That's my review of New Holland Brewing Company's Ichabod Pumpkin Ale. Like, subscribe, do all that good stuff. Again, I'm going to be hitting the road pretty soon. If you have a favorite craft beer, craft brewery that you're in your local area, let me know in the comments. I'm going to see if I can stop by. Especially if it's a winter seasonal, a Christmas ale. That'll be about the time where I'm hitting places. So, let me know in the comments.